is that Ronin Horde just won Rialto. My internet has been kind of fickle today. Much like some of these teams, it appears I suffer from DC syndrome as well. It affects everyone, even the person who discovered it. But we're going to move right on in here to the next map, which is going to be, teams have chosen the Temple of Anubis. And I've seen this multiple times in the past few days. And Anubis, I actually do like Anubis. Anubis is one of my favorite maps. I really enjoy kind of the strategies that teams can pull on it. I mean, I've seen some creative Symmetra strategies. I've seen some dive. You've seen Ryan Zarya. You've seen a whole lot of things. Really, Anubis is kind of a sandbox. Get it? Because it's in the desert. A sandbox for teams to run whatever kind of compositions that they do or do not want to go on. But here we go. We're going to wait now. We're going to see that the Regenerate are starting on the defense. And you've got the Ronin Horde on the offense here. And on Rialto there was Ronin Horde's defense that locked them down on the second choke and prevented them from getting back in and from pushing it to the second checkpoint. And we're going to see if they can kind of mimic that aggressive defensive hold here on Temple of Anubis. From Team Regenerate here, they got to kind of match what the Ronin Horde was doing. And I see a new face here in their Orisa player for Regenerate. And you'll have to forgive me because I have no idea how to say your name. So I will just call you Mip. And hopefully that's close enough, or it'll probably suffice. I am not, of course, Russian, so I do not know how to speak your name or pronounce it, but this Orisa Hog defense here, along with the double sniper, I think is really going to pay off for them, as long as Jasam God can get up there to the high ground here. He's finally up, and he shoots the Sonic Arrow at the spawn, trying to get a little bit of recon going. But Vortex on the other side here, this offense is running dive with the Widowmaker and then the Ana, which I really like because of the anti-heal nade. You've seen teams run Ana a little bit more here. I definitely want to get value out of that, but here comes I'm Dead Inside. Oh no, Vortex is actually going to switch off to the Zen, but he's got to be pretty quick if he wants to catch up with his team. Let's see how they want to approach this one. I'm pretty sure they're going to go up on the side here. Yep. Dead Inside and Stanny here flanking around the back, but Vortex is the first to fall. They got to be a little bit careful with their engage here. Stanny's going to deflect the hook from Artemka, and they're diving onto Juthis here. They want to be able to secure the pick, and Jorahara is down. Stanny was there on the Genji. He is taken down, though, by his counterpart of the Hanzo of Same God there. They do catch Alexander, but now Mercy down. Juthis finally found by him Dead Inside, but he is going to be finished right back off in turn by Artemka. Mip wants to reset the shield on the high ground here and keep things going, but Stanny's pretty close to a blade here. This will not be an AKM blade. This will be a Stanny blade. He's built this thing up pretty quickly here, and he wants to get as much value as possible from using it. You see he's poking around on the side here. Wants to be doing some damage into Loyo, but Hotchkiss secures the first pick, and now this gives Stanny the room he needs to move in, but he's going to get shut down. However, Juthis went for the res, and that's going to cost him, but here comes Sabri. Got to be very careful you don't get taken down, but in the backline you see I'm Dead Inside has put himself in a position where he has to force them to rotate back to the point, which lets Stanny get the res off, and now dashing back into action is him. And with the help of Vortex and Hotchkiss setting up on the high ground there and setting up a crossfire on the point, they're going to take it. And now they need to snowball onto the second point as fast as possible here. Stanny's got the blade. Hotchkiss got the infrasight. They can scout things out and stage for the next push before going in, which I think is going to definitely be key. They've got the Valkyrie as well. And they use the infrasight. They know where everyone's setting up. They see Loyo switched over to the Tracer, perhaps a bit of a comfort pick, and here comes the dive, and Stanny as well with the blade. He catches Juthis and Jorahara there with the help of I'm Dead Inside before being taken down by Artemka, and now the point is looking pretty even right now. Stanny's brought back into the fight, and now you see Loyo is going to be contesting on the side, trying to get things done as the rest of his team is falling, dropping like flies around him here, but he needs to get out of there. He's demeched, or no, he's not demeched, he's discorded, I meant, and Vortex is able to find the frag, and now looking for it onto Juthis, who ducks back into spawn at the last second, and now they're pushing in on the right side here, but they've already got 2 ticks on the point. The dive comes in from Mip. They switched over to the stall comp here. Jorahara wants to contest the point. There's the Transcendence invested by the offense. They want to keep everyone alive, nice and healthy here, as Jorahara is just contesting the point, but now he's got to get out of the way of this bomb here from Artemka. The whole of Ronin Horde drops off the point, and as a result, they're split up, and 3 are found. Now 4. They're switching over to the Doomfist now for Mip. They need to get back on the point. They need to contest. He's going to get off the point for the time being. Can anyone get there? No, they can't. Mip couldn't get around the corner in time in a position to punch his way onto the point, and as a result, the Ronin Horde are going to take this after a little bit of contestation from the from Team Regenerate here, and they actually get up with quite a nice time bank here, up at 5 minutes and 14 seconds, which is going to be very key for them. They gain a whole minute and 14 seconds, and as you know, as we've seen in the past, you know, I talked about it, Runaway versus Element Mystic. The time bank means everything, especially in games that go as long as those do. Switching sides now. We're going to see what they can do on the offense for the side of Regenerate here. And, I mean, props to them. You know, I initially thought Ronin Horde was definitely going to be the favorites. But, I mean, from what I saw of Rialto, it looked pretty even. So, Regenerate has improved very quickly. Very, very quickly. And by leaps and bounds. And it's got to be, I mean, I'm just saying here, it might have been that they've been watching Ronin Horde. They've had more playtime here. Ronin Horde has played twice. And I'm sure they've watched them and, like, okay, they figure out this is how they play, this is how they do things, this is how they approach kind of the offense and the defense, and then they got to get comps to counter this. And I love this. This Symmetra strategy. What they're going to do is they're going to put a teleporter up onto this high ground and set the Orisa up there before Hodgki's going to go back and switch off of this Symmetra as he's waiting for his team. They're going to go up there. Heroes that normally couldn't get up there are now going to have the option to. And then if you are I'm Dead Inside, you do not drop off of this high ground. You stay up there for as long as you possibly can, because the second you drop off that high ground, you can't get back up there unless you switch back to the Symmetra, and there's simply not enough prep time to do so. So you want... okay. I'm not sure what that shield is and how it even sticks up there, but there it is, ladies and gentlemen. All right, well, they're sitting back up here on the high ground. This is what you want to do. You see Hodgki has now got really good sight lines onto the point. He has the opportunity to find some very nice picks here. He's shooting the fin there of Artemka, and here comes the dive order from the offense. Loyo, though, can't escape Hodgki, and Hodgki is already about halfway here to his infrasight. They are able to sneak off the res onto Loyo there, who's got to get around the corner, almost taken down. And look at this. It's like Frogger. He doesn't want to cross the gap in fear of getting taken down, but he is finally able to get through, and now Loyo set up with a bit of a cheeky angle here, is looking for the shots onto the defense here, who's holding strong for the most part. He's going to get repelled, though. Loyo and Hodgki finds Jorohara. The Zenyatta is down, but the dive goes through. Artemka was trapped. Untrapped now, wants to drop onto the point and start getting some percentage, but you see Loyo does catch him dead aside. That's huge, but they are able to res him. Sabri almost going down there. Needs to be very careful. And Jasam God is still contesting the high ground, but I think this is still going to go towards the defense here. I'm Dead Inside finally dropping off the high ground, and the dive is just being shut down by this Orisa Hog composition. Hodgki's finding the shots at the right time, and they're using the halts and the hooks to their advantage. Trying to reset now. Dead Inside going back up towards the high ground here. Wants to set up. No, never mind. He's dropping right back down. Is pretty, can't really decide where he wants to be, what a good position is. Finally going to be towards the normal high ground, as you normally see teams will set up. And here comes the dive. Mip is going to be able to use his Primal Rage. He wants to be getting the juggle here onto Hodgki and finishing him off, but the Valkyrie is there from Sabri, and they're going to support him, and now he has to dive back to his team. The first pick, however, going to Stanny, who finds Loyo with the tire, and then not to be outdone, Hodgki catches Mip as well, and now Artemka, 2 on the point. Artemka used the bomb. It's not going to come up with anything, and now this is the defense still holding strong here. Regenerates being pushed back by this dominating defense of the Ronin Horde here. Oh, Stanny. Oh, he's using the trap spray to try and bait the offense here, whereas his actual trap is a little bit behind them. That's okay. That's a little bit cheeky out of him there. I'm not even sure if it's going to work out, but here comes the dive. Mip comes right back in, but he's just going to be focused down. He just gets lasered from the combination of Hodgki, I'm Dead Inside, and Alexander here. You really can't get by this, and here the hook combo comes in. Juthis is taken down by Stanny's trap, of all things. And you see that Jasam God. He's holding over here on the side. Uh-oh, they're moving in now. They might have spotted him. He's got to be very careful here, because he's right there. Oh, Chisame God, you sneaky ninja. But they now know where he is. They've got the info site going, and they can predict where this next push is going to come in from. Chisame God barely getting his way out of that one there. He uses his deflect. And Loyo has got to be careful as well. He's in the same situation that Jirohara was in earlier, you know, where you got to be careful. You can't really dive. But here comes the dive. Chisame God with the blade, diving onto the Widowmaker here of Hodgki. He can't find it, though, as he's just going to Spider-Man his way, and Hodgki wins that one. He takes down Chisame God, and now they're pushing onto the point into this whole hog that Alexander has used. They have to invest the Transcendence to stay alive, but after that, he's just finished off very shortly. And with 30 seconds left, I really don't think that that Regenerate can win this one. It'll be very hard. They've really got their backs up against the wall, very similarly to, you know, we saw that oh my goodness, brutal Sager here onto poor Artemka, and they gotta wait even more. But this is the same kind of situation we saw with Not a Phase and Team Exile, where they need to get onto the point as fast as possible. But Hodgki takes down Chisame God. He's just finding all of these shots, and they can't even push in. Mip is taken down. 3 seconds left. Can anyone even make it? Loyo's on the point. He's discorded, though. He was able to secure overtime and let Jirohara get there, but Juthis is down to the tire. The bomb comes out. Artemka does find Vortex, but he's got to get on the point now. Loyo's there. It's just them two, however, and Artemka's just demeched. Loyo's finished off with a concussive blast, and now no one else can get back onto the point in time. This is going to be the Ronin Horde taking this 2-0 on Anubis. Very, very dominant. Completely capping both points very quickly, and then full holding on the offense. What a hold by them. And Stanny, of course, getting the play of the game. Let's see what this one is. I mean, I know you make highlight reel, Stanny. You might want to add this one to it if it is quite the... Yep, it's exactly the blade I was thinking of, where he just dives into the back line, finds Jirohara, finds them all. Look at that. It's like a rhythm here. He knows the steps of this dance. Slash, dash, slash, dash. That's something that only comes with practice. And you see that Ronin Horde, they deserve this win for sure. They deserve their spot at the top of the standings. From what I've seen from them, they are probably the scariest team that teams have to contend with. Man, oh man. If you are other teams, though, watching this, you got to watch out for these guys. You got to watch out for them. And we're going to bring Vortex in for a bit of an interview here. Let me just get things all set up here. But Ronin Horde taking things 2-0 is exactly the kind of outcome you want. You can move up even further in the standings and just establish kind of your dominance, you know, that you've done so far over these teams. And let's go ahead and bring Vortex on in for this interview here. Support player for Ronin Horde, of course. You saw him on the Zenyatta. And hello, Vortex. Oh, we're waiting. He's not quite here yet. Again, I really think Ronin Horde's win there, it came all down to them finding the picks at the right time and having their tank line have the pressure on the front lines to make the space for their defense, or for their back line to find the picks. You know, you saw a lot of the times their tanks were enabling their DPS in Hodgki and Stanny to find the shots or the angles or whatever else they needed to their advantage. And we're able to, you know, win this up 2-0, which, again, I want to remind you, we haven't seen anything that wasn't a 2-0 as of yet in the Russian Overwatch Cup. A little bit interesting. Might speak to that, you know, these teams might be out of each other's leagues, perhaps. But just wondering if, okay, Vortex, just a second. I'm sure he's celebrating his win with the rest of the members of the Ronin Horde. And, I mean, I would be too, you know. If I was these players on Ronin Horde, I mean, you've won every match you've played in so far, 2-0. You're going up against Not a Phase on the 8th, on Wednesday, who just lost against Team Exile. And you did beat Team Exile already in the first match of the entire cup. So, I mean, you might be feeling a little bit confident. Not a Phase there. It's definitely got to step up if they want to be able to try and take down what seems to be the top team so far in Ronin Horde. I mean, I've just been impressed with their gameplay since the beginning, and their team play as well is excellent. But it'd be nice to get some insight onto how the team plays and how they communicates from Vortex here, who I assume is their ult tracker as a Zenyatta. You know, I've talked about this before, but I want to bring it up again, is that you want to have your Zenyatta ult track. And the reason why is because Zenyatta, during the fights, he's got to be very aware of his positioning, his aim. He's got to be able to have the right harmony and Discord targets. But during the downtime between fights, he doesn't really have a role. He just kind of walks around by himself and just gets in position, which is rather easy, you know. So that's when your Zenyatta can think about, okay, what ults got used? What do they possibly have in the next fight? And we're going to bring Vortex in here now for the interview. Hello, Vortex.
Hey, hey.
All right, well, how do you feel after just winning this one 2-0 over the Regenerate there on Rialto and then on Temple of Anubis?
I'd say we are pretty good. We are feeling good. We kind of things kind of get messed up on Rialto, but we're doing fine. Even though we couldn't push like for 5 minutes or something, we had a really strange pick and stuff. So that's why we sucked at Rialto. But team is feeling good. Sometimes we just blame each other in such things, but we're fine.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are up. You're at the top of the leaderboard right now. You know, you just won against Regenerate 2-0, so you're up 6 plus 6 so far in the standings. And you guys, I'm sure you're feeling on top of the world right now. Are you really afraid of any other teams, or do you feel confident right now?
I would say we're feeling confident. I don't even know we're gonna face the next time, but we are ready. I would say we are ready for everything. Yep.
So you guys are going for more of a we can't be scared of our opponents if we don't know who we're playing against kind of strategy.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. I mean,
Yeah.
if it works, right? So that's great. But and then I mentioned this before, and you're like the Zenyatta player and the support player for Ronin Horde, correct? Are you the one that is ult tracking for the team?
Kind of. Basically, ult track Zenyatta ultimate, Genji's blade, like the stuff that Zenyatta is doing in the team. But sometimes, whenever my team like forgets about ult track, like we don't know what to do and stuff, I'm just like saying Genji has an ultimate, Hog has an ultimate, they have a shatter and stuff like that. But I'm not the only one who ult tracks like every time.
So you have
Yeah.
multiple team members all kind of working together and ult tracking together. Yeah, what's the that brings me to another question. What's the kind of comm structure like on your team? Do you have a real in-game leader who's calling the shots, or is it just everyone kind of more democratic and just everyone pitches in and you guys come up with a strategy?
Well, usually our main tank calls strats. I usually tell the pick, like whenever I'm playing like Lucio, like we have a death ball or God's strat. Like I'm saying, I have a speed boost. Let's go here. Let's go there. And he just says, our main tank says, like, give me a bubble, give us a speed boost. Like basically, our main tank is a in-game leader right now. Yep.
Okay, and then so how long have you guys been together as a team for the Ronin Horde?
We had the like not the same roster. Like we are playing since I don't know January or something, and some of us left. Like our main tank left because he has some personal issues in his life, and we had to bring us uh, the other main tank. So, and we're like moved our DPS into off tank slot because
Oh,
there's not many off tanks in CIS that can like really play well in a team. Um, so yeah, we're having some roster changes right now, but as a team, as a complete Ronin Horde team, we're playing for 2 weeks, maybe. I
two
don't
weeks.
know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And you guys look really solid so far. So that's pretty impressive that you're able to, build up that kind of synergy that quickly. I heard that uh, from from Basso as well on Exeus Esports. They've only been playing together for about a week, probably around 2 weeks now. But last we heard from them, it was only a week of play time together. So that's actually kind of crazy to hear that you guys, you've only been playing together for such a short amount of time, and you already look this impressive in the standings. So props to you guys for
Yeah.
sure. And then I guess another little question here for you is, did the roster changes really shift things up in big ways, or was it just like just getting used to the new players, and or was it how hard was it to kind of adapt to the roster changes?
Well, we are getting used to our new roster really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't have such like a lot of strats and stuff. We're just saying pick the Rhine or pick the monkey, do like jump on that high ground, do this, do not do that, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, okay, I'll do it. I have done it before in my team, or he's just saying, let's do this. I did it a couple of times as well. Like he brings the strats to our team, and we give him our strats
Mm-hmm.
basically, like something like this. Yeah. So we're fine. We're adapting right now to our new players. Um, like it is going pretty fast. So we're fine right now. It's good.
All right. Yeah, that's definitely good to hear. And so again, you guys are up at the top here. I'm sure you definitely want to be holding on to that top position here. But I mean, there have been some other teams that I've seen that are also very very good. So definitely, I think you guys got some hard work ahead of you if you want to stay on top. But I mean, I'm pretty confident. I think you guys will be able to do it. What I've seen so far has really impressed me from you, and wish you best of luck. I mean, if you got any other final thoughts, anyone you want to say hi to, then we'll go ahead. But if not, then we'll just end things out here.
Well, I just want to say hi to um, our ex main tank, Exicross. He was a great guy. Like we're having some like trouble sometimes in our team with a new main tank, and but tilting and such things.
Hmm.
But our like ex main tank was great. Like every time someone says something bad to him or bad to the other players, he's just like, "Calm down, guys. It's all fine. We're gonna get through this. It's gonna be all right." You know, he just keeps the good mood in the team.
Hmm.
Yep. So, and thanks for having me.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully, I'm gonna see you later. Gonna give you like interview or something.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank you
So
for
yeah,
coming in. Best of luck in the future in your matches.
thank you. Good luck to you too.
All right. So again, that was Vortex on the side of Ronin Horde, and that's gonna end things out today. Sorry I couldn't bring you the first match, but internet troubles, of course, do happen, and just know it was a pretty good match. Regenerate, again, Ronin Horde, Vortex said had a little bit of problems on Rialto, but they were able to hold them out on the defense finally, and definitely watch out for Ronin Horde in the future. Team still getting used to, their new players, making a little bit of changes here and there, but I think what I've seen so far from them is they are definitely going to be one of the top contenders here in Russian Overwatch Cup. Still in group stages, however, this was round 3. We're going to be back on August 8th, which is in 2 days, with the finishing match of round 3, which is going to be Lolly Esports versus the Orcs GP. They've had a little bit of time to recuperate, a whole week, practice the maps they're going to be playing, and then of course Ronin Horde versus Not a Phase to kick off round 4 on August 8th as well. And then we're almost halfway done with the group stages here, and then we can finally move on into playoffs, which will be exciting much later in the month. And we will have a full team for that one. Pulse will be back, and we will be here, both of us, to cast for you guys. But until then, we're gonna take off here. Hope you all enjoyed the first match and then the latter part of this next match, and we'll see you all on Wednesday for more matches. But until then, have a great day.